11 ChatGPT tips and tricks that will instantly boost your productivity. Welcome to this detailed walkthrough of the most powerful ways you can use ChatGPT to instantly boost your productivity rate, whether you are a student, content creator, entrepreneur, or someone just trying to do more in less time. ChatGPT isn't just a fun chatbot. It's a tool that can organize your brain, automate your tasks, and spark creativity in seconds. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use ChatGPT in a way that makes a difference, not in theory, but in your daily work. So let's begin with the most underestimated use, using ChatGPT as your thinking partner. Now, instead of writing long to-do lists and sorting your goals manually, open up a blank prompt and you're going to tell ChatGPT what you're trying to achieve today, this week, or even this year. Describe your tasks, goals, or even your frustrations. The moment you do, it starts turning that chaos into structure, giving you a breakdown of steps, suggesting timelines, and even pointing out what might be blocking your momentum. So let's say I'm going to write, I want a higher CGPA by the end of this year, but I don't get enough time to study with my night job. So, you let it know something like this. So, once you do that, as you can see, it lets you know what to do. So, switch from more time to better time. Pomodoro method, use dead time, set a tightly weekly study plan, etc. So, it gives you a whole breakdown. So, it gives you proper clarity, not just ideas. Another way to unlock its potential is by using ChatGPT as a writing amplifier. Now, you don't need to ask it to write your entire blog post or even email or script. Instead, try writing your own rough draft, a messy paragraph or set of points, and then feed that into ChatGPT and ask it to expand, smooth, or professionalize it. What you get back is your voice but sharpened. So let's say I'm gonna go ahead and write I'm I'm writing this to you in good faith. Please return my let's say files as I am in dire need of them. Now you can ask GPT to professionalize and smoothen this by adding, let's say, details and make the tone serious and confrontational. Okay. So you can go ahead and, let it know things like this to basically streamline your whole workflow. So once you do that, here's a more professional, detailed, and assertive version of your message. So, dear recipient, I'm writing to you in good faith to formally request the immediate return of my files, which are currently in your possession. These materials are of critical importance to me, and I am in urgent need of them. Despite my prior attempts to resolve this matter, the continued withholding of these files is causing significant disruption. I must emphasize that I expect this issue to be treated with the seriousness it warrants. I am prepared to escalate the matter through the appropriate channels if a resolution is not provided. So you can see that it actually makes your text even better. So, this trick saves hours and turns average writing into something polished and publish ready. Now, if you're overwhelmed by information, you can simply use GPT to act as a summarizer, whether it's a long article, research paper, YouTube transcript, or even something like an internal document. You can copy the text, ask it to break it down into core points. You can even add instructions. Those instructions could be explain this like I'm a beginner or summarize this in 5 actionable points. So let's go over ahead to some text over here, okay, on Wikipedia. Let's go to Wikipedia quantum physics, okay? And or let's go to quantum mechanics. And here we're going to open it up and I'm going to be copying a big summary of it, okay? So let's go with all of this. And I'm going to go ahead and copy that and paste it here. Explain this to me like I'm 10. Okay. So obviously you don't need to do that, but just to give you an idea on what we actually get, you're going to paste this over here. Now, as you can see, quantum mechanics is a part of science that tries to explain how tiny things like atoms and electrons work, but they don't act like normal stuff. It's kind of like a magic show where things can be in two places at once or go through walls. So as you can see, it really tells us things pretty simply. So this one says, that's the Schrodinger's picture. This one says tiny particles like electron are like waves that move around. The wave changes over time, and the math formula called the Schrodinger equation tells us how it moves. Think of it like, where will the magic wave go next? So it actually is talking to us like we're a 10-year-old. So it's pretty incredible. Now, one of the most valuable uses of ChatGPT is building it into your email and messaging workflow. If you get a difficult email, maybe a client request, complaint, or negotiation, paste it in GPT like I did with this email over here and ask it to draft a professional, clear response. It can also rewrite emails to make them sound more polite, more assertive, or more casual depending on the tone you want. Now, ChatGPT is also a very strong coding assistant. You can ask it to write a whole line of code, even if you're not a developer. Say you want to automate something in Excel, build a small website, or create a game. Just describe what you're trying to do. It will suggest code snippets, walk you through the code works, and even debug errors you paste in. So let's say I want to write me, let's say Pac-Man game in C++. Okay, we're going to go ahead and write that in. And once you write that in, there we go. Creating a full-featured Pac-Man game in C++ is quite large, especially with graphics. However, I will give you the simple text-based version. So as you can see, it goes on, and now we have the text-based version of Pac-Man, and it uses the correct headings and all the other coding files needed. Then moving on, one of the smartest ways to use ChatGPT is by building custom workflows. Instead of opening a prompt every time, you can write instructions once and reuse them as a personal productivity system. These are called prompt templates. So for example, you have a content writing template, a product review builder, or a customer service response model, and simply plug into the new info each time. So what you can do for that is you can come over here, go to customize ChatGPT, and you can actually give it proper prompts. Okay, you can give it advanced prompts right here, letting it know what you should have, or you can even create a template over here. So let's say you add in a text and you ask, make this a template. Okay, so once you do that, as you can see, it creates a template, and in the future, when you apply over to it, it's going to be much easier. So to wrap up, ChatGPT is more than a chatbot. When used intentionally, it becomes a powerful thinking partner, content creator, editor, researcher, teacher, coder, planner, and even coach all in one. But the real magic happens when you combine these tricks. You write an idea, structure it with ChatGPT, ask it to optimize the writing, convert it to other formats, summarize your output, and get feedback, all without switching tools or wasting time. So that's the main idea of ChatGPT, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do make sure to drop down a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to be seeing all of you in the next video. Have a great day. Goodbye.